Na usiogope pia. In case you've missed any episode of Diaspora Connect, not only are they all on YouTube, but you can also view them all on View Sasa. Hata hii hapa ikiisha tu hivi tu, iko pale kwenye View Sasa. You can recap all these episodes, get inspired again and again and again, and also get interactive with all our guests, connect with them in many different ways. So make sure you are all about View Sasa, because that's the only way to go, especially right now. Aya, and talking about right now, before we continue with Anita and all the amazing stories, nataka tuende our other guest ambayo ako majuu. Unajua kikija hapa Diaspora Connect kutravel hiyo ni lazima. Hiyo iko tayari. And right now, I want us to go somewhere special so that we can meet an amazing Kenyan doing amazingly well once again. And welcoming for the first time ever on Diaspora Connect, Mambo vipi Shiru? Ni aje? Sijika unanisikia?
Niti kabisa.
Uko best, lakini mimi niko poa manzi. I've had such a good day, but it's getting even better the fact that now I get to hear your story and interact with you. Shiru, unanisikia ama najiongelesha?
Nakusikia. Sema.
Yes. Siku yangu imekuwa poa, but it's even better now that I'm with you. How has your day been? Mwaka imeanza aje? Especially the fact that unajua uko majuu, si tuko mtaani.
My year has started well. I've actually just come back from Kenya. I'm only a day old now. Nilikuwa Nairobi from the beginning of December to mid-January.
That's
so
nice.
I got to enjoy Jamhuri a lot during the Christmas holiday.
Samabani. What is there something new that you experienced during this past visit that during all those other visits were not really there? Kuna kitu mpya ume-experience, kuna sheng mpya umelan, kuna kitu yote ambayo umerudi mtaani ukasema enyewe Kenya wamepanda bei?
Oh, I can say there's a lot of infrastructure, like the roads, now you have to use GPS when you're driving in Nairobi because there seems to be a lot of flyovers that have been built. But also sherehe, I have never done a luta before. I think there's somewhere I went and I got home at 10 a.m. and I was like, oh my God, I'm too old for this.
Utazoea mazuri ya Nairobi hayo manze, till the morning light. But that's amazing. Where are you right now in America, and what have you been up to on during this Saturday?
So I live in Tacoma, Washington. People say it's like Moranga County. Because there are a lot of Kenyans and there's a lot of diaspora community, people of color who are working and living that American dream.
I love it. And for those who are watching you right now for the first time, niko sure kuna wale wanakujua na majina zako za Mapesa, kuna wale wanakutambua kile wewe unadu. For those who don't know about your story, just in a nutshell, please do share that with us.
So my name is Shiru Gidaiga. I've been a financial literacy coach for the last couple of years. I'm very passionate about empowering the community that is underserved within Washington State. And as you go, you evolve. So for me right now, my passion is just about teaching people about life insurance and educating them about retirement planning. I've been home this past holiday and realizing my parents are getting older. As they're getting older, they have a lot of ailments that are coming up. Now, they maybe had bought a few assets here and there, have land, have property, have some rental income, but they're not liquid in retirement. So teaching people who are especially around my age, I'm in my mid-40s, umejipanga. Have you planned for your retirement? How are you protecting yourself? How are you planning financially that your family doesn't fall in the case of something happens to you?
Wow, you know what? I'm so intrigued because we are actually in the same field with you, because I'm also a financial advisor. But how easy is it to talk to Black people, not just Africans, Black people when it comes to especially insurance? Because I know in the UK, it's actually a hard thing to break through Black people because that's not part of our culture. And it's just now that we're learning that, oh, you know what? We talk about a lot of generational curses as a Black community rather than generational wealth. So how easy is it for you to break through that?
I think for me, the place I would say is starting from trust. So like in our community, I've been in the economic empowerment space. I've worked for the nonprofit space where we were teaching women about, okay, like for me, my personal story when I came to the US, nilikuja kwa sababu ya mapenzi. So I've come, now lost my identity as a bank manager. I'm now a housewife. I'm now a mother. And then along the way, I'm in the community. I'm going to church. I'm in all these WhatsApp groups. I'm all in these prayer groups. And people trust me. You know, they want to come and know, hey, Shiru, I want to build my credit. How do I do it? So that progressive conversation of now teaching people, okay, fine, you've now gotten a job, you have income, and the next thing is you bought a home, you bought your first car, you now have a family. How do you protect your assets? And the conversation of, hiya, we are now in our mid-40s. We only have 20 years to go before retirement. Are we going home with something? So many of my friends are going back to Kenya with nothing. They've not built, they have no cash flow, or they have a home, but they have no liquid money. So the conversation is out of trust. And again, repetition. I would say the first time when we went into the market, nobody wants to hear about when I die. Have I left anything for my child? But as you repeat and repeat and repeat, you'll have people sliding into your DM and saying, hey, can we have coffee? I want to learn more about this.
I like that. And the fact that when anything to do with finances and building up the next generation is always a good thing. So talk to us also about some of the opportunities that you've seen Kenyans thriving in, because I'm sure as you're out and about, as you're out there in America, I'm sure you've met many Kenyans in different fields doing amazingly well. Maybe you could talk to us about that, because I'm sure Kenyans are wondering, kuna opportunities huko, kuna kitu naweza fanya?
Yes, first thing, I think my experience that I had when I went home is people are struggling economically. So I would say anybody, if you have a degree, umesoma hauna kazi, get on a plane, go somewhere. It doesn't have to be the US. Go somewhere. Open up your mind, look for opportunities. But if you do have an income and you're doing okay in Kenya, you can put food on the table and you can educate your kids, it's not a bad idea to stay home, because we do miss out on the socialization, being in community, having family close. So diaspora is not an easy place to be. And if you're going to be here, you need to make sure you're thriving, not surviving. So I would say in Washington State or in the West Coast, there are a lot of opportunities in healthcare. So anybody who thinks that they would be okay, like for example, getting into the nursing kind of industry, the jobs pay very well. And this is a really good career, especially for women of color, because when you come here, you know, you have that Kenyan accent and you're competing with somebody who is born, bred in America. So that industry has there are a lot of opportunities for well-paying jobs that can allow you as a mother, as a woman to plug in, still provide for your family, but have time to be able to raise your children. So healthcare is one. The second one is, I would say, technology. People who are in IT, any form of technology, whether web, mobile, doesn't really matter. If that's your thing, digital marketing, technology degree, you do a technology degree in Kenya, you come here, it can open big doors for you. So that's another industry I know. And your education in Kenya is relevant. So what most people don't tell you is when you come to diaspora, when you come to the US, the main thing is to make sure you have a path to permanent residency. Because if you're able to be here legally, you're able to be here with the work permit, you're able to be here, say, for example, with a green card, and you have an education from Kenya, you can pick up any career and thrive in the US. So that's one thing we always tell people. Don't be told that your degree in Kenya is irrelevant. I don't really have American education, and I can say I'm thriving in the US. So it's just because I understood the path of getting into the system. And number two, using my education now to propel it here in the US.
Hey, umesema maneno zengine hapo za nguvu, thriving, not surviving. Hey! Mapesa, I see why they call you that. Also, talk to me about taking care of your mental health. Juu tunajua loved ones wetu wakiwa majuu, tutawaambia watu tumie kitu, tutawajulia hali hapa na pale, but sometimes it might not come off in the right way. How do you take care of your mental health, especially when it comes to missing back home, connecting with back home? And what could you tell other people, especially guys who are watching Diaspora Connect, watu majuu, about taking care of their mental health and being in a good space so that you can at least go about your work well?
I would say when I first came to the US, nilipigwa na depression vizuri sana. You can imagine I'm from corporate Kenya. I was a branch manager. I was thriving. And then I come to the US and I'm a housewife and I'm at home. And my friends in Kenya, when I go on WhatsApp and I go on Facebook, I'm just saying they're high flying. So depression definitely hits you because of isolation. I would say the first thing I always educate anybody who's coming, because I mentor a lot of young people who are coming into the US, is building community. So for me, how I did that is I realized I need to start exercising. So I looked for groups where we'd go walk in the park and started now socializing in the community and getting to know people, because they're the ones who show you how to shop, where to go get items, how to get a fast job, how to get into the system. I also joined a church, and it's not so much that I am religious, but I realized I needed community. So I went and looked for our Kenyan community, and I joined that church, and I got to make a new community, a new family, who are then able to support me in my journey. And understanding that I may be married, I have a spouse, but he's busy, he's going to work, he's making money. I'm at home stuck with the babies. So I need to be able to find my own circles to give me my support. So community, exercise. Washington is cold, it's wet. If I don't exercise, my bones ache, the mood, there's no sun. So you have to exercise. So for me, I swim once a week. I try and walk twice a week, because that really, really, really helps with your mood, and taking vitamin D.
Okay, one question that I know we struggle with in diaspora a lot is the balance of work and family. That is something that we struggle with it a lot. And in London now, in the UK, we have a lot of black children in prison because their parents are always working, and they still don't have that balance of work and family. So how do you do that? How do you manage to balance that?
That's an amazing question. I think the first thing you need to know as a woman, and especially if you're a mom, if you're a wife, is that you are a support system to everybody. So as much as, maybe like for me, I had career in Kenya, when I came to the US, I had to readjust. And that is how I ended up becoming a life insurance and retirement planning advisor, because I realized I needed to get something that gives me work-life balance and allows me to work around my children's program. So when I wake up in the morning, children here go to school at 9. Yeah. They are picked up at 3. What job will you have done? Like for me, I've been in corporate, I was a credit manager. There are jobs I can get in Seattle for $150,000 a year, but the commute is an hour and a half. So if I'm leaving home at 6, I'll be getting there at 8, and I'll be coming back home at 8 p.m. Here we don't have house helps. Yeah. Your partner is also working because life is expensive. So as a woman, you really need to know what is the ideal job that can help you economically provide for your family. But you remember, you're the chef, you're the driver, you're the one taking them for gymnastics, you're the one doing homework, you're the one giving your children emotional support, you're the everything. So we really are choosing careers based on where are you in life. If you're a mom, if you're a wife, you are running a home, you have to really choose a career that aligns to your family. And for me, that is how I became a financial literacy coach and realized I need a job that allows me time flexibility. So when I'm teaching people about life insurance, it's mostly on Zoom, or we decide we're having a meeting, we're meeting for coffee. I'm able to arrange it according to my schedule. Yeah. And that really gives me financial freedom and allows me to go to Kenya for 2 months. I was in Kenya for 2 months. I was still selling. I was still getting clients on board. I've still come back and found my account has money. Why? Because I realized I need to use my knowledge to my advantage and align to my situation. So the first thing women need, you need community. You need to meet other women. If you're a mother, you have a 4-year-old, look for women who are 4-year-olds. If you go to the supermarket, you spot somebody who has a 4-year-old, go and say hello to them. Or where your children goes to school, go and make a friend or two, because they're the ones who will teach you how to survive in this system.
Wow, such wise words there. I love it. Yep. Thank you very much for sharing all those insights. Thank you very much for being on the show with us. Mapesa manze Shiru. Enye kweli, enye pesa wa inafuata wale inafaa. Also, before we let you go, please tuma salams. We would love you to send out your salams to watu wako hapa mtaani. Niko sure you made some new friends from your previous visit. I'm sure relatives pia wanakuangalia, and also your family in the US and all your friends also on that side. Please, tuma salams, Shiru.
Okay, for me, before I send about to my salams, I just wanted to share something. As I said, the biggest thing we have as diaspora is we have dependents. We have black tax. And there's no way you will stay out of depression if you cannot meet that expectation. So the first thing I always teach people, once you figured out your income, now you're earning, you must learn how to protect your income. And with as little as $100, you can get a cover of $1 million. Which means if today you got injured or you're sick, you are able to get replacement income that will make sure you're not getting foreclosed on, you're not getting your car repoed, and people will be wondering, hey, Shiru was doing so well, but then she got sick and in 3 months, everything has been sold. I thought she was a financial planner. So protection for people who are in diaspora is really key. Please contact us, we teach you about that. The second thing is about retirement planning. We said we don't want people going to diaspora and then your family, who you've been sending money for 20 years, are like, huyu hakujipanga, hana kakitu. So make sure you're going home into your retirement at 65 with liquidity. We don't want people who have assets. You've built a white elephant in the village and you have all this land, but you're not liquid in your retirement. You need cash. So retirement planning is something we really need to think about. And also for our parents, we have a lot of grandparents here in Tacoma. The women especially who are doing caregiving, they earn good money. What are you leaving for your grandchildren? Are you a gift? When now we are saying, oh, Shosho is gone, what happens to that son you were supporting who decided to be a drunkard in the village and he has 4 children who are very intelligent? Can we make sure that we are leaving a legacy, that our grandkids go to school because you left a policy that, you know, as little as $100 can cover you for up to 5 million Kenya shillings in Kenya, which can cover your grandkids to go to school and leave a legacy. So when I say, for me, my work is teaching people about financial literacy, I want us to be empowered. Because when we are empowered, we can build Kenya and we can also build our community, that in our village is an impact. People should be knowing Shiru Mapesa, 10, 20, 30, 40 years because I left a legacy. My salams, I would say one to my community here in the US. I believe Washington has been a really good place. I've met very strong mentors. My team leader, Bilha Washira, she's the one who convinced me, Shiro, you teach people about credit, you teach people about, managing foreclosure, but you're not thinking about the end of the road. After you've built your assets, after you build your income, how do you protect those assets? How do you make sure in retirement you're moving into liquidity? What is so different about us who are the Black immigrant people of color vis-a-vis the Wazungus? It's because they take life insurance. They know how to mitigate tax, especially for business people using that vehicle. They know how to put money in an investment that won't be taxed when they're in retirement. So we really need, as Africans, to get educated. Education is key to success. My salams to my family, my husband, my children, my family back at home, the extended family, my parents, my siblings. I love you all. I don't want to mention anybody in particular, but I think the main thing we should make sure we do, other than words, can we leave an impact? We leave a footprint. Let people be saying, my God, this woman, she's a legend. She left something for our community and taught us how to empower ourselves.
Hapo sawa, legend Shiru Mapesa mwenyewe on Diaspora Connect. Before we go, I'm sure guys want to know your social media handles, because guys, I'm sure will want to reach out to you, talk to you, ask you a few questions. If you're willing, please give us all your social media handles so that guys can reach out to you.
So yes, we have a business line which you can text or you can call me. I am licensed only in the US, so I'm only able to help clients who are in any of the 50 states in the US. And my number is 401-216-7199. I'll say that again, 401-216-7199. You can find me on social media as Shiru Mapesa. You can also find me on Facebook, but I believe you text me, I should be able to immediately call you back and you can reach out and connect.
Sawa sawa, asante sana, thank you very much. Have a good rest of your day there. Shiru Mapesa kutoka majuu kutoka US of A manzi ame represent to the fullest. Nasikia financial coach, mambo ni thriving, surviving, hiyo tuliacha 2025. So I love the sound of that. Keep on connecting with us at Citizen TV Kenya. Use that hashtag Diaspora Connect. Tuko hapa sana, Anita kwa hapa bado, Lydia bado wako hapa na sisi, and you, the most important person on the show. Remember,